Hey everybody, and welcome back to anytime that I mess up, that's because I'm role-playing as Moon Moon. And Moon Moon is an impetuous young fool who makes all sorts of bad decisions in his life.
Like putting all of the lasers, no heat sinks.
Things like that, yeah. Or, in this case, just basically running into a bunch of enemies and taking a bunch of unnecessary damage.
That starting off animation was pretty precious.
I love the dropships because it is just take this polygonal object and move it over there.
It's like if they had an object and it's just like have it take off. How do I have it take off? Just move it with your mouse. I don't fucking know. And
it looks like
he ran out of mouse pad because back then you had the roller mouses. And then it stopped for just a second, and he just kept going on his desk. You could see that.
Yes, indeed. So the first mistake I make is thinking, or was this that time? Because I played through this mission and failed it a number of times. Yep, it's this time. They noticed me, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna fight them right away. And then they just were super ready, because you know how a lot of times the AI just doesn't work.
This wasn't one of these times.
I was hoping for one of those, but I came over that hill and they let me have it, and I have to not walk into all that exploding munitions. And also, as you can see, I can blame any of my failures on all this lag.
Yeah, because this was when you were still using the window mode.
That made it worse, but it's just always up there, regardless of what mode you're using. I'm certain that tweaking my DOSBox settings could help with that too. But for the moment, I just replay missions a lot. So the point
is really good.
I don't know. I'm always surprised by the quality of synthetic instruments in it, because obviously they didn't get like live instruments to play these parts,
Obviously, because that just wasn't how people did it too often back then.
But it sounds like an instrument and not like the menu music, where it sounds like a robot farting at you.
Well, because they could have actually had recorded a sample from a real instrument and used it in a song.
True, but it sounds more like it's synthesized, because I don't think it would sound as good as it, unless they did some complicated maneuverings, I guess.
Like they did that a lot for console games in the 6th generation. Pretty much every game on the GameCube used MIDI.
Yeah, but this is
I know, this is way earlier, but it's similar technology. You could just make good samples and reuse them a lot, and that was a lot less memory intensive than just having recorded tracks.
Sure, but I think it's synthesized because of the fact that the things run into one another, like it's not, I don't know, it sounds like it's each note is leading into the next, as opposed to just being individual times someone played that thing slapped together.
Maybe it just has more channels, because didn't you say that this version just had better music?
I might have. I don't remember any of those distinguishing factors anymore.
Yeah, because like this version had better had like a night and day effect, but worse graphics. And
yes,
something
I
there
think
was
the music
something
was
about the music.
same. But I'd have to look it up because it is possible that. Well, no, none of this game wasn't even close to running to a CD's capacity. So.
Yeah, it was on like several CDs, right? Not CDs,
No.
several diskettes, right?
Nope. I was saying it's not even close to that. Like it doesn't need a
Oh.
ton. But anyway, these are solar panels that now I know solar panels rotate, but the point isn't to have them just spin. The point is to have them face the sun. So either this is a planet where it's spinning incredibly quickly, or this is just some really shoddy design from the Falcons.
Maybe it's just like... Maybe it's not even solar panels. Or maybe they're taking off from several suns at once.
Oh,
and
dead.
There we go.
No, it says it's a solar panel array.
Oh, okay.
In the mission description. See? Destroy solar array. Anyway.
Alright.
So...
Hellbringer.
Yeah, you can see it's still a little funky. But we're going a few less lasers here and gonna see if we can't slot in a couple more heat sinks, which it looks like we have some room for. Maybe a little bit more armor too. But yeah, I always feel like that is obviously a nice planet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like my heat sinking should be much more effective than it is, because it does make a difference what planet you're on. Or at least I think it does. I know it does in BattleTech, and sometimes I'm getting those confused because I played them back to back.
I mean,
but,
I think you were getting overheated way easier on the desert planet, right?
I think so. I believe so. Anyway, so I did a little thing. I switched out for pulse lasers, and this is what I was talking about. I don't know, like I think really, just because you don't have room, like with heat sinks, frequently the problem isn't that you don't have weight on larger mechs. It's that you don't have room. It looks like in YouTube videos when they like do a joke edit where they just show something like flying away by just grabbing the image and just dragging it.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. I could do that. I could do that sort of thing if I wanted.
You should. You could make that like you just cut out that dropship liftoff thing and make it like your intro video for you know, like your MechWarrior based YouTube channel.
That I totally have in secret. All of the videos are on private.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody actually watches that. It's not like it's any different from the videos I normally upload.
That's gonna be. I'm looking forward to at some point getting to. Not anytime soon, but someday I'm looking forward to playing MechWarrior 3 again, and having coolant that you can flush. I think it's MechWarrior 3 where they introduced that.
The cutscenes?
No. Oh, that's 4. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Like the third one also had cutscenes. I remember that.
Does it?
I remember because like I tried to run that game and it did actually have an official update for Windows 7 to run correctly.
Oh, I think it has an intro cutscene, but
and like it had mission briefings with real life actors.
No, that's MechWarrior 4.
MechWarrior
3 doesn't have that. I'm pretty sure you're thinking MechWarrior 4, which is hilarious and awesome, and reminds me of all those great FMV cutscenes you sent me. MechWarrior 3 does have opening cinematic. Let's see. Let's play MechWarrior 3. I'm totally locked into this commentary this time. Let's see.
I mean, we've seen this before, so, you know.
Yeah.
That's fine. And we've already talked about how awesome this synthesized music is.
Yeah.
So we can
They
let
do
people
have,
listen
like-
to it for a bit.
They do have cutscenes with voice acting, but it's not got actors, I believe. Yeah. They do have cutscenes, but it does not, and it has voice acting, but not in front of a green screen acting.
But that's the most authentic.
Oh, when we get to 4. Also, 4 has they finally got a lot of the things that they tried to do in this game functional. Because you know how you run into walls all the time here, and they had like this idea of, yeah, it's a city, and you're gonna be battling in this city, and stuff will be exploding. That they got it to a bare minimum workable level. So,
you know, like watching these videos and like talking about these games, I really want to get around trying the Gun Griffin series. But when I read the control scheme for that game, I immediately get scared.
the control scheme for this game is scary too.
Yeah, but like, you know, we're talking, you know, overly complicated, but there is like a reason for all of these things, and you also have options, like for example using a controller and the keyboard, or a mouse and a controller,
Or, well, the joystick. And I guess you could use a gamepad, but that would be... I don't know that you could, actually. Like, you definitely couldn't do everything if you were using a gamepad. There's just not enough buttons.
Yeah, but like when I read about what Gun Griffin controls like, it's just like push the X button to move forward and push the A button to move backwards. You know what the Saturn controller looks like, right? More or less.
No.
It has like a D-pad, and R and L triggers, like R and L triggers, and it has 6 buttons. Like up front, it's like A, B, C, X, Y, Z.
And they decided that they'd use button movement instead of D-pad movement because...
But because D-pad is for aiming and turning.
Oh, okay.
Like it's interesting that they did that, but at the same time I'm kind of scared. But at the same time, I don't know. I have faith that the developer who made that game was smart enough to not make it impossible. Because it was made by the same people who made Grandia.
Ah. Well, that's quite a different genre, though.
It is quite a different genre, but they also did like some other shooters in their time. I think they made Project Sylphie.
Destroy solar array.
But that's also a completely different genre.
But so last time I spent too long and tried to fight people afterwards, and this time I'm just going to run away because secondary
for your nav point alpha mother.
Yeah, Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared. I need to go home from the sleepover.
It's just like it's gonna be like that one episode of Dexter with the Star Trek convention.
What? What?
I'm getting things confused. Never mind.
See, I actually did have to blow him up. I forgot. I thought that I ran away this time. I'm thinking of different missions. But
there we go. Mom arrived.
Mom arrived just after I'd murdered everyone.
And she dragged herself with the mouse, just as you know.
Yep.
Just behind your back, so she wouldn't embarrass you.
I hope she has a tray of orange juice and peanut butter crackers, because, you know, actually, I guess in this weather you'd be more like, you know, tomato soup. And
she should bring Tortinos.
The pizza rolls.
Yes. I'll show you the best Tortino commercials after this.
I guess I gotta say, the voices in their commercials are annoying, but their commercials aren't nearly as commercials I have to watch. So.
No, I don't think we're thinking of the same one, but I will show you.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Who's shooting at you?
No, that was a victory laser from me.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I try to click the aftermath if I remember, so that you can pause if you want to read it.